Okay, so for the next few videos, we're going to talk about some dark forces which we're going to come across and that we need to recognize so that we don't get induced or blindsided by them. Okay, so the first one that I'm going to talk about is manipulation. Okay, so manipulation is everywhere. There's good and bad parts of manipulation. For example, you can have words are manipulating. So we can, let's say, the Bible, for example, is one of the, or the Quran, or anything which has like any influence, any inspiration, any like enlightenment, is that the words that they use can help us, can guide us. Okay, and then there's also manipulation, when you may know about it, where you get led into the wrong path, where you may be misstepped and you may be taken advantage of, for example. And this is something which is just really worth taking into account, because when we quit weed, when we decide to take a step on a brighter path, there's going to be other people who are still on a dark path, and especially through our own knowledge and our own wisdom that we're gaining, other people may not have that wisdom. So when they step on us with that dark force, with that dark energy, it can really bring us back into that state where we want to just turn around and give up on this journey of enlightenment that we're on. Okay, so manipulation is really the main thing that we need to, one of the main things that we need to really keep an eye on. Okay, so just notice how people reciprocate to you. Okay, so if there's not as much openness, if there's it feels like there's sort of a corridor that they want you to go down that feels like there's no other option. Okay, and I'll go over this in the next episode too, but this dark force of manipulation is one where we become a lot more, we're very sensitive to it when we're high, for example. Okay, I don't know about anything else, but with weed I know for sure that you can feel things more, and you know that you're being pushed. It's like a breeze, and this is why it's good for weed in some ways, because you can feel that breeze, but then it's bad as well because that breeze can take you away for no powerful reason other than you're just going along with it. So noticing that manipulation is around and that people can take advantage of you, but it's something where I've noticed that recently. I've noticed, because I always used to have my parents who were manipulating. Okay, and I didn't know which one was manipulating. That's the thing with manipulation, is that you don't understand who is the manipulator. And that's when you really, for ages I thought it was my mom, and then it turned out it was more my dad, and then I realized at the end of the day they're both manipulating in their own ways. But really understand the manipulation and look for signs of manipulation from people. Okay, and I think the best way that you can think of it is by understanding the manipulation from your parents, and how they may, you may understand it a bit better, whether it's only from your mum's or from your dad's manipulation. You're able to really compare it to how other people are treating you, and you can understand from your own experience and wisdom from that manipulation which has guided you into a position you didn't want to be in. And yeah, it's just a pretty dark part of coming into real life more, is that you really start to see the manipulation. And we're going to move on to it in a further episode, talking about power. But this is really something which we need to look out for, and just be wary of that. Even though we are turning into this enlightenment, we're turning into this light force, we also need to recognize that darkness is very much still there, and we're just shining through that darkness. So the moment you turn off your lights and you think, okay, everything's fine, they're gonna pounce on you, son. So just keep your head focused, keep your head up, keep your eyes open, and don't get led down the wrong path, and don't let anyone else lead you down that wrong path either. And it's not their fault, because they may not have that awareness, that knowledge. They may not have that sort of intelligence that's been passed down from my experience, from my parents' missteps where they manipulated me. So when you feel those things happening, just stay steady, and you may need to just sort of get a bit of shadow boxing in there, just so that when it actually does come, you're actually ready, as opposed to being blindsided, as I recently have been blindsided, and it really yeah, really affected me, and it shouldn't be affecting me. And yeah, I don't want that to be affecting anyone else. So yeah, a bit of a darker episode. In the next few, we're just going to get into the depth, a little bit dark, okay, but we're going to move forward, and eventually we're going to reach enlightenment, okay. So keep being a boss, keep improving, and let's fucking go. Come on.